So when I decided to do this class again, it was because I know that this is what people write to me all the time. They go, "What am I here to do, Joan? How can I live my best life?" And that's the reason we're doing this. How can we live our best life? And I have been working with people for over 40 years, teaching people how not just to remember who you are, but to align your body, your mind, and your spirit for success. And I've done it through my chiropractic. I do it through the readings and through my coaching, where I take people on their master path journey. So how to know what we are here to do is really important, all right? Knowing the values, knowing the challenges we face, getting clarity, that's from a neutral ground. So when you do your numbers, your birth path, there's no emotion set to it. It's just the numbers. And I want you to know, because I'm going to be showing you this next part of the class in a minute, but when I do readings, and the readings are known as soul awakening sessions. We look at why you're here. We look at your big picture. When I do these readings, I begin always with your birthday, your birth path, what you're here to do. And I once had this wonderful psychic, actually her name is Diane. To find her last name. She's an amazing, Diane Garris, an amazing singer and oracle. She's done her own cards. She's fascinating. And we were sitting having breakfast one day and she said, "Well, Joan, you know, you really don't have to do people's birth path. You should be able to just read their records. We know you can." And I laughed and I said, "Well, that's probably true, but it still gives me, it's like a key." So I'm only going to give you tidbits because we don't have that much time, but I'm going to give you tidbits on what your big picture would be. And a couple of you have already given me your, let's stop the share. Okay, a couple of you have already given me your date of birth, your birthday. If you want to have me figure out your birth path, just put it in right now. And I'm suggesting that because when this next section comes up, and I'm going to share the video. Now I'm going to come on after the video and questions and answers. So I want you to take notes and be aware and say, okay, how does this apply to me? So Deborah, you are a 31/4. So that means overall you're a 4. You're going to find out what that means as a 4. And welcome, Linda, or Lisa rather, welcome. We're glad you're here. You're not in yet. Okay, hi, Lisa. Welcome to the class. And if you're ready, you can put in the chat where you're from and your year and date of birth before we get started in this process. So LG, if you want to know, Lisa, if you want to know your birth path, just put it in the chat, your year and date of birth. I'll give it to you right now before we begin, or as we begin. All right. Okay. So just going to mute everyone. Beautiful. And Jenny, if you could turn off your screen share, that would be good. Perfect. Okay. All right, guys. So we are so what I said is know your questions. That's good. And then we're going to, right now, here we go. All right. And then I'll be back after for Q&A. Greetings, and good day. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Joan of Angels, Reverend Joan of Angels. We are talking today about what is my life purpose? How do I know I'm on my life purpose? And what are the signs? And of course, how do I know I'm not on my life purpose? So you're with Joan of Angels. I have been a chiropractor for over 40 years. I was also first initiated and ordained as a minister in the movement of spiritual inner awareness way back when. And now I've been recently ordained as well in the Interfaith Spiritual Center worldwide. So we're talking about meaning. How do we find meaning and how do we find purpose? And I've been doing readings, guys, probably since I was almost since I began my practice. Why? Because I would lay hands on people and I would move energy. And as I was doing that, those parts of the body would speak to me. They'd literally give me clues as to what was going on. So I began in that way to start to read people's energies. Also, I will say as a Pisces, I'm pretty intuitive and I've always been that way. I've always known about things that other people don't know, but I never realized what a gift I had until I actually teach my intuition class, and stay tuned for that. Anyway, so we want to talk about how do we have a simple way to tap into what we're here to do. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to begin. So today we're talking life by design, how to know what you're here to do. Finding your purpose is the key to living your best life. So why is that? Because when we're not on purpose, when we've gotten lost, which is not hard to do, guys, if we don't have clarity as to where we're going, as to why we're here, and our gifts and skills, our talents, our superpowers, if we don't have clarity on that, then we get lost. And when we get lost, it leads to depression, confusion, going around in circles, feeling stuck, and we start to go down that slippery slope. And I know this is true because in 1997, I was injured, and I ultimately ended up losing everything, losing my home, my practice, my car, everything. And we were in despair. Now, I had forgotten that my mission here was to heal and inspire. So when we know what we're here to do, it can literally save your life, okay? So your life path reveals who you are. It reveals your values, the challenges you have to face. It allows you to see the big picture in your life and really understand the whole totality of your experiences. It will also increase your happiness. I don't know about you, but I wake up at 4 or 5, whenever I've set in my mind to wake up, and I literally leap out of bed, ready to leap over tall buildings in a single bound, faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, because I'm a super woman. I know who I am. So when you have an increased purpose, you are also more passionate. Your self-esteem grows by leaps and bounds, okay? So, and it also, of course, when you align your body, mind, and spirit, then you can step into your destiny. Now, this is step 1, guys, what we're going to be talking about today. It's step 1 of a journey, of a process of uncovering and revealing who we are and what we're here to do. Understanding that we're all here with a mission and purpose to line up. So when we align our body, mind, and spirit for success, for mastery, then we're really ready to start our journey of self-love, of mastery, of purpose, of fulfillment. Not that we're not on that journey now, we are, but this is a step in tuning it up. And it's a process. We start to have an understanding of our skills, our talents, the things we do, whether we're paid for or not, the things we do just because we love to do. So we have a sense of that. We start to look at what our big picture is, and I'm going to show you a way to do that in a few minutes. And then we start to work on how do we let go of what no longer serves, and we're going to be looking at that today too, to raise our vibration. Now, this is only step 1. We'll be talking later on about the 8-week program, which I call the Ultimate Life Purpose Mastery. And that Ultimate Life Purpose Mastery, an 8-week program, step by step, building not just upon what I'm teaching you now, but building upon all aspects of turning up your power, turning on your miracle mastery switch, guided meditations to bring you into a sense of balance and completion and fulfillment, a vision of where you're going, of who you really are, glimpses into your past and into your big picture. So we're going to be talking about that later on, but I want to prepare you because that is what I call the ultimate life purpose mastery. In other words, mastery on our path to success. All right, so we start by looking at our birth path, and that is a numerological determination. It's the key to understanding all those big pictures, okay? Everyone's life path is slightly different. And even if we have the same life path, the way we unfold it is always going to be different because we each have a unique blueprint. We each have a unique destiny, and we are here to fulfill that. And even if it looks difficult, there is a way through. So the life path number indicates your primary mission. It certainly outlines what you're learning this life, what you're mastering. So all of those challenges and obstacles you may be experiencing are also teaching you major lessons. All right. So although we have innate gifts, and we talk about that in my intuition classes, what are your very special ninja skills? But while we all have these innate gifts, we all have our own unique set of obstacles. So if you are here, say, to become a leader, if you are here to powerfully motivate and inspire others, what will be your challenges? Well, challenges are going to come in the form of taking you off the path, of intimidating you, of perhaps having less courage, self-doubt, all right, questioning yourself all the time until you understand that you are in a process of learning. All right. And this is why we're here on the soul planet, by the way, to learn who we are and to step into that powerful oversoul of why we're here. Now, how do we calculate it? Okay, we take your year of birth. So I took JFK and I thought, well, this is really interesting. He was born on May 29th, 1917. And here's how we break it down. There's really two different ways. I'll tell you the way the classic numerologists do it, but then I'll tell you how I do it. So classic numerology would take the 5, okay, 5, and then they'd add up to 29, so that's 11 or a 2, and then they'd add up the 1917, which adds up to a 10, 11, 18, which adds up to a 9. So then they would take it and say 5 plus 2 is 7 plus 9 is 16, and you get a 7. So the outward number is the same. And I'm not exactly sure why, but because I use it this way, I use it consistently across the board. And it steps me into what I like to call the file cabinet of the Akashic records. Okay, so if JFK was sitting here in my office with me, I would say, okay, when I add it up across, you're at 34-7. What is a 7? We're going to talk about it, but 7s are very, very much involved in truth, honesty, and integrity, revealing secrets. They certainly do not like to be lied to. And when I talk about revealing secrets, you know, some of you know that maybe I've studied in the UFO world for many, many, many years. And it is said that JFK was about to release all the documents revealing the secrets of ufology, of UFOs on the planet. He was also about to supposedly take down the cabal, you know, that secret group that's supposedly the Illuminati that runs the planet. And for all those reasons, he was taken out. But it's an example. 7s collectively can manage groups. The 3 and the 4, we're going to learn about that communication, creating solid foundations. Okay, so having a key to these terms really gives you a little bit of interpretation. So how to know what you're here to do. A life birth path number one. One is the beginning of that 10-year cycle. So one is new beginnings. One is leadership. One is stepping up and showing the way. And I like to think of a one. Here's the clue for ones: knight in shining armors. So, excuse me. If you remember the stories about the Middle Ages, the knights in shining armors, they'd have their sword. They would have a mission, an assignment. That is your birth path, by the way, guys. They would have this mission and assignment. Find the red ruby in that bad, that big bad dragon up there, and it's on his third toe, instepped underneath, go. And they'd set him on a journey to do this. And along the way, he'd go into towns, he might rescue damsel in distress, he might stop a robber, who knows what he's going to do. But he never forgets that he has this thing that says, this is where you're going. Now, the same is true about all of us. We always have inside of us that little nagging place that knows if we're on track or not, that feels comfortable, that's far more advanced than our human mind is, and that is always kind of nudging us. But the one is like being that knight in shining armor and having a sword. In fact, if you're an 11, it's like having two swords. And the sword cuts away anything standing in your way as you're going towards that mountaintop period of success. All right. So number ones become great leaders, entrepreneurs, freelancers, generals, commanders, CEO, producers. Number ones have motivation, enthusiasm, creativity, and inspiration. And they tend to be physically healthier and mentally stronger than most people. So they want to be successful. Now, those who do not feel that sense of personal power, in other words, who are not up tall and upright, are collapsed even in their relationships. Okay, so think about that. And as you're doing your own numbers, and by the way, I should have really said back there, stop and do your own numbers. Okay, so what are you? Because that's going to play a very important role. And by the way, I am a 33. So when I add up my numbers, 3, 16, 1949. So when I add them up, then they come up to a 33.6. We'll talk about that. So life path interpretation number 2. You're all about love. Love is about love. 2 is about learning how to love yourself, respect yourself, and set boundaries. So if you're a 2, your life lessons would be about giving away all your power, maybe being a victim, being a doormat, saying yes when you mean no. So understand, now your big picture is to be of service, okay? 2s love to be in relationships. They're very, very sensitive. They're mediators. They love to bring peace in the household. They're social, all right? They do not do isolation very well, and they're tremendous givers, but they may give to the point of depleting themselves and not knowing. And you'll see in relationships, a 2's lesson is to learn to say no, learn to set boundaries, and learn not to allow themselves to be trampled on. So in their thing of doing service this lifetime, got it? So if you have 2 in your birth path, that's one of your lessons. All right. And I will take questions later. So now if you're a 3, and I'm a double 3. 3 is all about creativity, communication, acting, performances, how we appear, how we speak, what we teach. We are entertainers, gifted musicians, actors, writers, dancers, public speakers, and politicians, okay? But a 3 craves certain kind of excitement, beauty, eccentricity. And a 3, all right, holds dreams of what they want to share. And if they give up, if they stray, if they don't follow it, okay, if they get distracted by alcohol, sex addictions, and they stop hearing that voice to create, okay, they will get depressed. Okay, they will lose that great enthusiasm. You can tell a 3 sometimes by their enthusiasm. You can also tell when they're off course by how they might have writer's block. They are not creating. They are not enthusiastic. So think about anyone you might know who is that 3. Now, 4s are an amazing life path. And I want to take a moment to share about a dear friend of mine who just actually took her own life, Sheena Kelly, and she was a 4. And 4s are all about creating stability and solid foundation. 4s are also all about becoming stable members of the community or town or city or state or country. They are very loyal. They are committed to building the structure or the container. Makes me think of those 3 little piggies, you know, the house that was fragile, then the stronger house, and then the solid house, the brick house. And so 4s come in with a programming on building some kind of container. But again, if they don't honor that, they may spend their whole life running around not having that container or losing their homes, not being stable. So we have stability versus non-stability. They're hard. And as I said, they make great partners. They demand a lot of themselves, and they can be powerful and stubborn too. But really 4s are about building homes, building containers, building structures, building foundations. But when they don't have it, then they're lost. They run round and round in circles. They could even be homeless. And so this is something to understand. You can flip the switch on any of these challenges. And in our 8-week class, we will talk about how do we turn those challenges and obstacles into fuel for our purpose and understand why we had to suffer from dysfunctional families or abuse, or why did we have those illnesses. And we learn that it's all to mold us to become the person we are meant to be. All right, the life path number 5. I know this one very, very well. I was married to a 5. My son is a 5. In 2021, we're in a 5-year. 5 is all about freedom. Personal, community, planetary, family, freedom. The freedom to choose your own path. The freedom to live a life aligned with your own values, okay? It's really about walking your path fully and completely on the planet with no restraints. Now, 5s sometimes mistake this need for their personal expression. They might mistake it and go the other way, where they end up in a life being imprisoned or being addicted or being so ill they can't function. So the opposite of freedom is restriction. A marriage that restricts you, literally losing your driver's license or losing your privileges, losing your work. Freedom in its very big sense is that ability to responsibly use your God-given gifts and talents to do what you feel really is aligned with your highest calling there. But it's not about not working. It's not about, just running around partying on the planet. It's responsibly using the tools and gifts that you've been given to make a difference in your life and in the lives of others. That's what freedom really is. That self-expression, that doing what we're most excited about doing. All right. And of course, freedom could be, we could be thinking freedom means, freedom from all restraints here, and that's not actually true. All right. Well, we are taking a deep dive. I'm going to take a deep breath for a second and think about this. Now, the life path of 6s. Many politicians, many leaders are 6s, okay? They are people pleasers, yes. They are what we call the responsible ones, the caregivers, the ones who feel like they have huge wings and they're here to tend to, nurse, take care of one person, a family, a group, a community, a tribe, a team. Literally, if you think of them, they have big wings, all right? They are providers. They usually feel a commitment to help other people. But what could happen to a 6, okay? You could also go the opposite way and feel drained, okay? Feeling depleted, feeling like you're sticky. And I give some great processes, by the way, later on down in the next class. I give some great processes on how do we clear away that cape. And I call it like a spiritual cape. So sixes, if you think of a 6 with that responsibility, they might put on this community responsibility cape when they leave the house. And they feel like they can take care of everyone that's in their command. But of course, that could be exhausting and feeling victimized and feeling, overworked and too much is going on. So that is the opposite and complementary. All right. So that is the energy of the 6. Now, a 33, which I am, adds up to a 6. And each of these, so when we have, when we are a 7, as I started in the beginning, JFK, he was a 34-7. He had aspects of great communication, entertaining, teaching the world, 4, creating solid foundation, and then the 7, which is what we're going to talk about now, the integrity, truth, honesty, intellectual pursuits. They feel they know everything. They love to be alone. They love to cultivate their wisdom, their knowledge. They are very, very deep thinkers. Much of this, of course, is in their mind. They don't trust many people. You have to earn their trust, for sure. And although they're good with people, sometimes when their trust has been violated, they will become the great hermits of the planet. All right, but now, again, it says their original ambitions, which is to improve the world through the application of wisdom. So 7s are very, very much in their head. They think they know everything, by the way, and they have to tell you how to do it as well. So that's another quality of the 7. And it's a very mystical, spiritual number. Now, one of my favorites is the number 8. So when you have a birth path of the number 8, 8 is what I call material and spiritual success. When you're an 8, you are here to do your spiritual work, in a sense, to do your passion. So 8 is all about how to serve in your best way possible, how to do your work in a way that fulfills you emotionally, spiritually, and in all ways. And so, it's when I say wealth here, I really talk about a prosperous way of living, health, wealth, and happiness, joy. So 8s are usually confident, they're charismatic, they learn how to work with money and power, but without becoming corrupted. So does that mean that they never get corrupted? No, of course. Their challenge is to learn how not to get corrupted. And so what that means is that their best gifts, it's like when their heart is singing, when they're in joy, when they love what they're doing, that is when they're most fulfilling, that 8. So they can improve the lives of thousands of people. And here's their challenge, of course, is that not to put that pursuit in front of relationships, okay? Because otherwise they will become workaholics and they will lose that which is what makes their heart sing. So those are challenges and lessons of the 8 that do what makes your heart sing, not what drives you for money, power, or corruption. Whew, these are all so powerful. Can you see how they shape to help you know what, first of all, by knowing your talents, like what your big ahas are and where they are, you can start to apply them. And as I said, later on, we're going to talk about that 8-week program on how to apply all this. All right, so how to know what you're here to do. The number 9. 9. Take a deep breath, because 9 is all about letting go of everything that doesn't serve. It is all about spiritual mastery. It's all about turning up your light, no matter what. So 9s have particularly hard lessons. They have more challenging lessons than most people, because it's in learning how to handle it in the best possible way that is their lesson. All right. So 9s are also about turning up their light, as I said, no matter what. So a 9 who is walking in the negative side, it'll feel like they have a blanket thrown over their head like this. They'll be in shame. They'll be in humiliation. They'll cover up their brilliance. So when we say turn up your light, we're really referring almost to a 9 energy of becoming a lighthouse. And of course, 9s might struggle with that, not wanting to be in the spotlight, but those lighthouses are towers of light that are destined to shift the planet. So if you are a 9, if you have 9 energy, you're here to shine a tower of light for humanity. And so it's a very lofty ideal. All right. Yes, you will have been given harder lessons than most, but I believe in you. Once you understand that, yes, these are just to show me the way I can do this, it'll give you a new perspective. In fact, all you have to do is really think about turning up a light switch, and that's a real secret to a long, laborious process, okay? Turning up your light. Also, 9s do have a tendency to be preachy, and we really want you to be more collaborative. All right, thank you for listening to that one. Yeah, 9s are like lighthouses. Oh my God, I had a client years and years and years ago, and when I met him at the Conscious Life Expo in 2012, he sat down and I started reading him. And all I could say is lighthouse, lighthouse, lighthouse. Now, when I do readings, I don't give you this stuff, by the way. Yes, I use it, but I go much deeper into it. And I said to him, and I don't see lighthouses around most 9s, okay? And I kept saying, oh my God, I see lighthouses. What do you have, like lighthouses around you? And I started explaining it to him. And it turned out he collected lighthouses. He collected paintings of lighthouses, statues, lighthouse statues, memorabilia from lighthouses. And he ultimately invited me to do a workshop in his home. And I got to see all those lighthouses. So he was a walking representation. And that's what he did. His workshops were to turn up the light. Okay, so now 11, that was 9s. All right, now moving down to 11. 11 is a master number. 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66. These are all master numbers. Master number is, well, when I first learned about master numbers, I was told either you master it or it masters you. So an 11 has 2 components, the 1 plus 1. So 1s are all about personal power. When I think about an 11, I think about someone 2 knights, like a double knight. So having a sword in each hand and going up that mountaintop, slaying dragons along the way at double speed with Archangel Michael by your side or behind you. However, 1 plus 1 adds up to 2. And 2s, what's their life lesson? Yes, to be of service, but to learn not to give away their power. So an 11 has to really work hard to embrace their personal power and to have self-love, self-power, self-mastery. and to not give away their power in that selfless life. Okay. Many 11s are known as the wounded healer, and some of them never get back up again. All right. So it's two sides standing tall. All right. Usually a lot of toxic emotional baggage and an inner critic. So it's a definite, either you master it or it masters you. It is a lifetime to work on this particular master number. And the chip on the shoulder, well, sure, it would collapse a 1. And that 1 might not even want to go up that mountaintop. Oh, I can't do it. It's too hard. Look, I'm going to fall off. Or, oh, I can't go after that job. There's other people better than me. Okay, now we're almost completing this. So number 22 is a master builder. 2 plus 2, what does it add up to? A 4. What did I tell you about 4s? Solid foundation, stability, the big container, the work, the foundation of your life. So when 22s set their mind to do something, it will be made manifest. And, I think of the pharaohs were master builders. They are the most capable on the planet. Really, they can manifest ideas and visions into reality. All right. And again, many of them work for, they want to spread their wealth among the masses. So we have a lot of idealistic, and they have very big goals if they're one of the leaders of the 22s. Now, one of the challenges, again, is giving away their power, being afraid to put their roots down. All right. So again, when we step into the higher part of our destiny, it contains that, it gives us a lot to think about. All right. And yes, we need to cultivate self-love, self-care, self-confidence. We need to regenerate. We need to renew. We need to see our big picture. And most of all, we need to start to think about, well, what are we here to do? Out of all of these things that Joan has said here, what relates to me? What am I here to do? And what are those challenges? And this is going to be a perfect opportunity. We'll stop to share. Perfect opportunity to ask questions, because each of you have your own numbers. So I'll answer questions about that, or we'll give you a little deep dive into what it might mean to have that. All right. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I'll see you for questions and answers.
All right, everyone. Oop, I have to shut off the video. Good. Find the screen. Hi, everyone. I'm back. Good. Let's start my video. All right. So that is really how I begin my readings. And I don't go through all the numbers like that, but I make it a little bit personal. So first of all, I'm going to look in the chat. Are there any questions about how this might pertain to you? And I have some of your numbers, so you just have to ask the question, and I will kind of address it a little bit. So one of you, and you know who you are, you're 34-7, okay? 3s are, again, all about communication. They're about entertaining. It's how we present ourselves in the world. They are our creative juice, our enthusiastic beings. They have a lot of power and energy in wanting to please. 3 with a 4. So what is 4? 4 is all about building solid foundation. Now, the opposite is where our challenges lie. So when a 3 is feeling blocked, for instance, okay, depressed, blocked, they're going to manifest it as, you're just going to see it. They're going to have no enthusiasm. When a 4 is not operating in their highest potential, things around them will fall apart. The structure will fall apart. Let's see if I can get myself to be the big picture here. All right. I'm just trying to make myself a little bigger. I see myself so small here.
There. Okay. Now I got it. Okay. So as I was saying, the 4 is the opposite of being grounded and having a beautiful home and having stability is no stability. And so that's really important to get that. Then the life purpose is about how do I let go of what keeps me from being stable, and I open up to grounding. What will it take? Because your whole life is designed for that. The 7 is about collectively, honestly, reviewing where you're at and understanding the lessons that you're learning and having honesty and integrity. 7s have a lot of trouble if they're out of integrity. Doesn't work for them. All right. So any other questions? All right. I am looking for any questions. Put them, let's see. You just put them in the chat so I can answer them. I want to also address that I have a dear friend in here who's a 31-4. And again, a 4, what would you be struggling with? You'd be struggling with, number 1, personal power. 1 is about personal power. So, for instance, I have a dear friend who's a 1, and rather than embracing her power, she's like this. I have another client who's a 4, and as a 4, she's just lost her next house, and she's, really having a struggle with her foundation. So these are lessons to, okay, what will it take for me to get that I'm working on my foundation and I'm grounding that out? All right, so I'm just looking at the questions. I do in local hospital and apprenticeship in business with healing ability. So we're going to talk about the number 11, 29, 11. 11 is a master number. You master it or it masters you. It's like the Christ number. Very difficult because, guys, we're walking this path of mastery. We're going as fast as we can. We're waking up and aligning ourselves towards it. On this path of mastery, these are the challenges. They're all kind of part of our destiny. So we're good with that. For you, my friend here who's the 2911, what we're going to look at is, so 11 is the master number. It's 2, personal power. Think of it as a doorway. If you're not feeling personally empowered, if you're feeling intimidated, because 1 + 1 adds up to 2. 2s are about service. So you're aligned with service, yes, okay, and apprenticeship and doing healing work, definitely of service in those ways. But it's about, number 1, having the courage to turn on your light, having the courage to bring your shoulders back and be in your self-confident, I know who I am place. Now, it's one thing for me to say that you need to do this, guys. It's another to slowly but steadily walk a path of mastery. I had a group I took through last year. We met twice a month, and the class was really geared to handling issues as they came up. So it was a personal class. We would take a lesson just like this. I would have the lesson of the week, what we're looking at, and then we'd start to answer questions and even engage a little bit more and really dive into what is my purpose. How do I let go of it? How do I raise my vibratory frequency? And it takes time. It takes time to be able to understand really it's not even an intellectual process because it has to go into our heart. It has to become an intuitive based. But this path, okay, this path of miracles, this path of knowing who I am, I call it the ultimate soul path awakening because that's what it is. It's awakening to who we are. And it is a process. I have been working on myself. In 2013, I began painting angels. In 2015, I was named Joan of Angels, but God knows took me 4 years to be able to stand up here and say, I am Joan of Angels. I remind you of who you are. I help you step into your personal power and destiny. I call in your angelic realms and your guides to work with you. But it took me from 2013 to 2020 to stand here and be able to tell you that. So life is always evolving. Our path evolves. We want to align ourselves. We want to raise our vibration so we can call in what we want. Remember, I said, when we walk the path of our destiny, we're happier, we're more fulfilled, we're certainly more of service, and we can really, do what we came here to do. And we can say, my heart is singing. All right, I see one more question. And part one of that question is what the numbers are going to mean, by the way. I've put in the link. You'll see it up above to the handout. All this is contained in the handout. So number one, you have that. That's my gift to all of you. I'm going to answer this a little bit. Number 6. And let me tell you a little bit about the number 6 again. And number 6. So I'm a 33-6. Okay. A 6 is when you're operating it in the highest of levels, it's about responsibility. It's about taking on roles where you help people, you serve, you either help as a caretaker or you run some kind of organization that helps people, or you lead people, or you do things that require people to trust you in your community. You take on responsibility. Now, that's all the beautiful part because it is service. I'm a 6. Now, what's the challenge with being a 6? The challenge with being a 6 is that at some point you feel invincible. You're taking care of a lot. And it's like putting on a big cape. And people see that cape and they trust you. And before you know it, they expect you. They want you to help them. They expect you to help them. It's like having little hooks on your cape, okay? Just like this cape I'm wearing. So they're putting all these little hooks on it, right? And before you know it, you're weighted down from all of that. So 6 need to learn how to hang up the cape by the door. They need to learn how to clear their field so they don't walk around carrying the rest of the world's energies and going, oh my God, it's too much. So again, the challenges are the opposites of what our big picture is. And when I say big picture and I say, okay, you're a 3-year communicator, I'm not going to tell you that you're going to be a famous actor or actress or musician or writer, unless of course we're working together. I don't even know yet that that's your tool, that those are your gifts. I just know that somewhere within that spectrum you lie. Okay, you are. Or if you're a 9, somewhere within that spectrum, it's about turning up your light and your brilliance. So I hope that this is helping. All right, so being a 9 over here, and again, so I love 9s. I love all the numbers. We get to live the numbers every year. The planet is now in a 5-year, 2021 is a 5-year freedom. So the theme of the year will be freedom versus restriction. It's going to play out in the public, out in politics. It's going to play out in our communities, but it's also going to play out in our personal self, whether you are taking the steps to turn on your light or shut it off. Now, with the 9, again, we're talking about turning up our light, brilliance. We're talking about the fact that all the challenges of which a 9 has plenty. A 9, the theme is spiritual mastery. Boom. In order to master spiritually, then expect opposition. Expect it to be something for you to step into the highest place. So with all of the challenges that unfold, we have two ways of dealing with them. We can fall apart. I'm the victim, pain, misery, suffering, and never get out of it. Or we could go, okay, that was my challenge. And this is how I'm good. This is what it's taught me. I'm going to let go of all of this. I'm going to heal myself of the trauma. I'm going to use that because I know that all of those experiences have been to teach me to turn up my light, to take off that blanket. So when a 9 feels challenged, it's like throwing a wet blanket on them, just as if I was going to cover myself up like this. But when a 9 emerges and turns up their light, they come out, they shine. And why is that important? Because energetically, the higher your own personal light vibration, the more your impact, the more positive your impact is on those around you. And there's a great book, Power versus Force. Trying to remember his name, Power versus Force, where he talks about how you can measure your vibrational frequency. And as you measure that vibrational frequency, he says the higher those numbers are, 700 and higher, the more positive, the more people you positively impact with your light. So as a 9, you have the potential to be a very high tower of light. You know, like those street lights. Well, imagine you went all the way out in the heavens with your light. And that the higher you feel, the more vibrationally aligned you are, the more you're positively impacting those around you. Okay. Now, conversely, guys, when your power is turned off, you are negatively impacting people. You're not just being neutral. You're actually can be taking people down, especially if you have a destiny of walking your path of light. So in sharing this, and I offered this class, what I realized is that I did my class twice a week last year. So I guess that was 20, let's see, we have 52 weeks in a year, twice a month, 12 months. I did it 24 times. Okay. This class I'm offering is going to be 8 weeks in a row. I'm going to tell you about it. In fact, I'm going to show you about it. I believe in it so much because I know that this works. And so I have to go all the way back down to where we were. And you have all of this to take home. Okay, so this class is going to start next week. And it runs for 8 weeks. The class is as I said, it's an 8-week class. It is part group class like this, part Q&A. The mission of the class is going to help you experience more joy, confidence, and mastery. There'll be chances to ask direct questions. I'm going to create a group for it on Facebook that will have all of the teachings, that will have interaction between us, and I'll be posting everything in there. And in there, we'll be able to have a lot of our group chats. So the class is going to be for 8 weeks. And here's the thing. Do you feel like your life is meaningless? I mean, how do you know the class is for you? Okay. The class is not for you, by the way, if you go, my life is perfect. I don't need to know anything. I get up in the morning, I go to bed at night. That's enough. Now, I don't think any of you are here with that attitude, or you wouldn't be here. Joan of Angels, even my name alone attracts people who are more interested in mastery. So do you feel like your life is meaningless, or do you struggle to experience joy, passion, or prosperity? That's the first question. And what we're going to do in the class is we are going to, by the time you get out of the class, you will know your purpose. You'll be able to state it, sing it, and go to sleep with it. You will be able to remove the crap that's in the way of doing your life purpose. Now, not forever, okay, but starting that process. You'll start to see more clearly. You'll certainly stop feeling so stuck. And the goal is to really reawaken your passion. So when we reawaken our passion, Then we wake up in the morning, we leap out of bed, jump over tall buildings in a single bound faster than a speeding bullet. We know who we are. All right. So this is going to be hands-on and personalized program. You'll get to know your group and we'll start to work on each of your purpose. So what is it? The Ultimate Life Purpose Master Training. I like that title. Is a comprehensive supported program. We'll walk you through creating personal transformation and in order to use your special gifts to be of service to the world, to fulfill your purpose this lifetime. So if you're not interested in your life purpose, then this is not for you, okay? Now, this is what we're going to do. It's an 8-week class in Zoom and in also utilizing Facebook, I think. And this will help us understand what our gifts are. And you'll have plenty of Q&A time with me. All right. Also, you'll be able to, of course, review the recordings and Q&A, possibly to add private mentoring. So sometimes when I do these classes, people want private sessions. The private sessions are twofold. They're to help you awaken and handle your personal life, number one. But they're also there to help clarify the class for you too. So your personal win with this class. Clarify your mission, increase confidence. And guys, that's what I was trying to explain this to you. When I knew my mission when I was 30, so we're talking about 41 years ago, and I was shown I was here to heal and inspire millions of people across the planet, many people. And I saw them leaving their crutches and their wheelchairs by the side of the road and being healed. Nevertheless, I'm telling you, it's taken me 41 years to fully embrace that is who I am. A year ago, July 2019, sitting out under the big sky, and I spoke to my guides, and a bird was up in the air, and the bird started crying, and the next thing I know, electricity went through my fingers. It was perfectly clear night, by the way. Electricity went through my fingers and lit up my tummy and my body and lit up all around me. And my friend said, "Oh my God, Joan, I can see inside your stomach." That's how powerful that was. And I was told, you're here to start a movement, a consciousness movement. But nevertheless, I'm trying to tell you, it is a journey. We clear away, we look, we walk, we assess, we clear away, we go to the next levels. Okay. So what do we have? Increased passion and joy. We increase our body, mind, and spirit for success. And honestly, this program is really for those who want to shift into the light. Live your dreams. This is so important to me. Live your dreams. And I actually heard it said that a 3, none of you are actually 3s, but a few of you have 3s in there. And I'm a double 3. That a 3 who gives up on their dreams is a very sad 3 indeed. Okay. So I believe that we all have these dreams because Source has given them to us. We've committed to doing these dreams. I've committed to my purpose of helping you master the energy to live those dreams and turn up your light. I've used the word light and brilliance a lot today. So we can use our special gifts so we can fulfill your purpose. Why is that important to me? If you fulfill your purpose, all right, you raise your light, then when I'm sharing out my light, now we're really beaming bright. When you carry your own light, you then can help carry light for others and then turn around and help those people. And then suddenly there's more of us. It's like the 100 monkey theory, okay? We're all monkeys here. Okay, the class is normally, now, my class is normally higher. I'm offering this as a beta class, and I'm giving this as a discount. The class, instead of my $99 a month, which would have been $188 for the 2 classes, the 2 months, I'm giving it for a total of $66 for the week class, 8 to 66. Let's see. The class is $8.25 a class. And it will include personal wisdom. So this is where you can sign up. I am going to give you a moment to, let's see, I'm going to give you 2 moments to copy that down. And I'm going to look through right here. Okay. Good. Okay, perfect. I'm going to put this down right here. Let's put it down a little different. I'm going to look through the questions. Let's see, where's my chat? All right, that is the link for the Ultimate Life Purpose Mastery. I would love to have you in that class. I would also love your feedback on this class, because when I say it's a beta class, that means that I'm testing it. I'm not really testing it. I don't want you to think that I'm really a beginner at this, but I'm working with the class to find out the best ways to give it, the best ways, that you can receive all that information. So I'm going to be looking for testimonials. I'm going to be looking for your feedback. I'm going to be looking for you to say, well, Joan, do you think you can cover this? Do you think I can do more of this? And so that's what a beta class means. And that's why I can give it to you for the grand price of $66 or $8.25 a class. All right. So I'm Joan of Angels, and I'm so happy you all reached out to me. If you have a question about the class, if you want to know more, okay, if you want to have a short meeting with me to discuss if this is right for you, reach out to me there, Joan at joanofangels.com, and we'll set up a free session to discuss whether or not the class is right for you. And in fact, if you would like that, you can privately message me right here and let me know, and I will be reaching out to you to set up a time, because I understand that, it's an energy thing. We have to fit together. You have to sort of, now I'm a 6, so I have big shoulders. I take on a lot of responsibility in my community. All right. I love all you guys. I'm so happy that you were here. Have a blessed and beautiful day. Bye for now.